Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Boruto, Naruto Next Generation's Chapter 46. When we last left our heroes, Amado was being questioned by Naruto and Shikamaru and Sasuke. He kind of told them all the stuff about the chakra fruit and the Otsutsukis we've kind of either known or inferred since like 2014, but it's kind of all laid out. Before we could really get answers, though, for a lot of the big questions, we were interrupted by a video call, from Koji, who was live streaming his fight with Jigen to Amado, where we learned that Kashin Koji was created to kill Jigen, which kind of solidifies my theory he's some kind of Jiraiya clone. So yeah, let's jump into Chapter 46, True Identity, with a picture of Koji. So whatever the truth about Koji is, we're finding it out now. I do love this color cover, though. The way the fire kind of, like, blends into the title is just really good. Anyway, so we open where we left off. We have Koji behind Jigen, telling him that he was created to kill him. You were created to kill me? Indeed, that is my supreme objective, and my reason for existing. The frog just kind of continues. I love that the frog gets its own panel that just says, stare. Back at the Leaf Village, the Amado interrogation squad is just watching it. What's going on? He's planning to kill Jigen? Naruto looks at it. They're both members of Kara, right? Why are they fighting each other? Koji and I were both playing at being members. Our true motive was to take him down. Jigen was severely drained in that battle against you. This is a perfect opportunity we won't ever see again. It's now or never. And back at the fight, Jigen turns to him. Reason for existing, huh? You're a pathetic man. No matter which way you put it, in the end, you're nothing more than a tool being used by Amado. Oh, so maybe he was created by Amado. That's definitely what Jigen is implying here. I'm fine with being a tool. And then he makes a hand sign. For that's what shinobi are. Jigen lunges at him. Rubbish. Koji lets out Katon, flame bombs. And Jigen activates his Kara and just his karma and just absorbs the flame bomb. But Koji keeps on shooting them out, and Jigen keeps absorbing them. And Koji somehow ends up behind. I think he substitutes with the flame bombs to get behind Jigen. Jigen looks behind him, toad oil bombs, and he shoots them right at Jigen. And it looks like he's just kind of covered in oil. Gah, what an unpleasant jutsu. And a frog just appears on Jigen's back. Or a bunch of really little frogs are now all over Jigen. And Koji claps his hands, and they all explode in this huge ball of fire encompassing Jigen. Definitely not going to kill him, though. Wow, he's on fire! Yeah, thank you, Boruto, stating the obvious. But Kawaki responds, raising the thermal power with oil won't matter. It's still not going to stand up to the karma. But Naruto is watching that. The way that masked guy fights. It's he's some form of Jiraiya clone. But yeah, as Kawaki predicted, the karma absorbs all of the heat and explosion powers. And Koji looks at him, kind of tisks. I guess it was futile. And Jigen sneers at him before he jumps up to clash with Koji. They both kind of block arms like that. Jigen goes with kind of palm strike on Koji, and Koji counters with a fist that Jigen catches in his hand. The two of them just kind of go at it in taijutsu. I think this will be pretty cool to see animated. And then Jigen is surrounded by Koji clones. And one of them goes in for a punch. But Jigen appears behind him. And Jigen throws a chakra rod into the clone's head, and it poofs away. But the other two clones are still there. Jigen goes in for a punch, or Koji goes in for a punch, but Jigen shrinks down. And then throws more chakra rods into Koji, who then poofs, of course. And Koji just continues to watch him. And Jigen returns to full size, and gets on top of one of the pillars in the room. It seems you really are serious about turning on me, Kashin Koji. I do hope you're prepared to die. That's my line, Lord Jigen. Or rather, Otsutsuki Isshiki. That'd be a much bigger reveal if we didn't already know that. But that gets Naruto's attention. Otsutsuki Isshiki? That's right, this is Amado. That is Jigen's true identity. Or rather, it would be more correct to say his real form. And Sasuke just looks at him. Otsutsuki Isshiki. He came to our planet long ago, along with Otsutsuki Kaguya, which, yeah, sets up the setup that pays off the setup that we learned when Sasuke was in the other world all those months ago. But that, takes Shikamaru by surprise. What? As I mentioned earlier, their objective was to plant the divine tree and harvest its chakra fruit. But then a problem arose. Kaguya suddenly turned against Isshiki. So it looks to me like Boruto is now completely casting aside all of the Kaguya flashbacks the anime gave, which is fair. That was a filler flashback. It's not required to be canon. It's not like a plot hole or a retcon or anything. It's just like anime filler not holding up. But anyway, so yeah, Kaguya suddenly turned against Isshiki, and Naruto and Shikamaru both look at him shocked. I don't know Kaguya's motives, whether it was personal enmity or wanting the fruit all to herself. There's no way to find out now, but the important thing is that it happened. Caught off guard, Isshiki suffered enough damage to be on the verge of death, but he managed to take over the body of a novice monk who happened to be nearby and survived. That unfortunate man was Jigen. Okay, so that would mean, because I kind of had the feeling that he had been constantly hopping bodies all this time, especially with all this talk about Jigen being a weak form. But if this happened at the dawn of the age of ninja, then that's something else. That's, a much, much older incident. Which means that Jigen's been holding up for centuries, at least. We don't actually know how long it's been since the age of ninja started. But, at least a few centuries. Which, would be fair if his body is finally giving out now. Anyway, Boruto hears that. Take over? I don't think Boruto was definitely not conscious when Momoshiki took over his body at the fight with Boro. But, he's still been having the dreams about Momoshiki, so is there some kind of... Is he vaguely aware that Momoshiki is somewhere in his head? I'm not sure. One question. This is Sasuke. Is that when Isshiki marked Jigen with karma? So yeah, Sasuke is much more put together about all this, especially with what Mitsuki told him. He has all the pieces lined up. And everyone, waits to hear what Sasuke says. Otsutsuki used the karma to take over others' bodies, right? And Amado looks at him for a second. Before I answer that, I think I'd like to get your response, Lord Hokage. Will Konoha give me asylum or not? Naruto looks at him. May I remind you that I am formally requesting official asylum as outlined in the laws of the Land of Fire. I've done my research. Special provisions give the Hokage the authority to make that decision without waiting for consensus from the daimyo, and I'll have that decision in writing. He's done his research, and Shikamaru was just, damn it. Naruto gives in. Fine. But the paperwork will have to wait, since we're both short on time right now. That's acceptable. Confirming your verdict is enough. However, I shall not be removing the explosive from Shikidai until I have the paperwork in hand, for it's my only form of insurance. Understood. Sorry, Shikamaru. No worries. Alright, now talk. Very well. This is the truth about karma. And Boruto pulls out his hand to look at his karma. Kawaki looks at him. Sasuke's inference actually isn't that far off the mark. Except, it's not quite that simple either. Let me explain using Boruto's case as an example. His karma was embedded by Otsutsuki Momoshiki. So then what exactly happened to Boruto? Boruto and Sasuke both wait for the explanation. During the battle, Momoshiki converted himself into data, replicated himself, and implanted that into Boruto's body. What? I'm sorry, he did what now? Is that a thing? He can convert himself into data? I mean, I guess with all that this series has been doing about ninja tech and like the growth of technology, I guess that makes some thematic sense, but still, it's wild. Huh? And Naruto just kind of frowns. Do you understand? In short, karma is a highly compressed Otsutsuki backup file. What? A backup file? And Boruto just looks on in shock. The compressed file slowly extracts over time. That is going on even this very minute. And when all of the data is fully extracted, Boruto's body will be overridden by Momoshiki's data, and Boruto himself will completely cease to exist. Okay then. So yeah, it's basically what Sasuke was saying. Before I actually continue, I just want to say, I love this shot of Momoshiki in Boruto's outfit. Something about it is just so wild to me. But I love it all the same. That's how the Otsutsuki accomplished rebirth. Are you kidding me? How can we save him? How do you block the process? As far as I know, there isn't a way. Although, you could probably prevent Momoshiki's rebirth if you killed Boruto right now. And Sumire just in shock. No way. And Boruto, I'm gonna become Momoshiki? So I guess that means that Isshiki has already implanted as a backup copy of himself in Kawaki before he dies, which does explain how Momoshiki died before his karma came into Boruto, but that wasn't necessarily a requirement. It's just like because Momoshiki was dying, he had to do what he had to do, But anyway, yeah. So functionally Sasuke was right. But there is, a bit of a difference. I wonder how it would work if we chopped off Boruto's hand? Or maybe at this point, because the karma's gone all the way up his body, it'd be too late. But if, at the beginning, he just, got his hand chopped off, if that would have worked? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Sasuke cuts in again. Question. What is it? Let's say Momoshiki does get reborn in Boruto's body. What happens to the karma? Good question. The extracted Otsutsuki data dissipates through the whole body. So like a sugar cube you put into your tea that eventually dissolves completely, the karma will also disappear. That's odd. Otsutsuki Isshiki took over Jigen's body, but he still has the karma. Why didn't it disappear? Oh yeah, that's it's not just Kawaki who has the karma. Jigen has it too. And that gets Boruto's attention. Naruto responds, "You're right, what's going on?" The fact that Jigen's body still displays the karma means Isshiki still hasn't revived, right? The same as Boruto and Momoshiki. Your explanation is flawed. And Amo just laughs. Ha. Ha ha ha. And that pisses Shikamaru off and grabs him by the collar. What's so funny, bastard? Are you messing with us? Hey, stand down, Shikamaru. Let go of me. I've been granted asylum, remember? Should the Hokage's aide be raising a hand against a civilian? And Shikamaru, stops himself. I told you, it's a complicated story. I'm not messing with anyone. Sasuke has brought up quite an astute point, but there's a huge misunderstanding. Hold on, what if he's constantly being reborn in clones? I don't know. Go on. Isshiki did take over Jigen's body. However, it was not by using a karma like I just explained. And Sasuke looks at him. What do you mean? The reason is simple. He was so weakened that he really was about to die. To implant a karma is a pretty big undertaking. He didn't have enough energy for it. Then Isshiki came up with a desperate plan. He performed his secret jutsu, Suka no Hikona, to shrink his body. Oh, the same thing that Jigen does. And infiltrated Jigen's body through the ear. And, that takes Shikamaru by surprise. What? He lives within Jigen's body, absorbing nutrients from it. Yeah, just like a parasite. He eventually came to control Jigen's brain, utter his own words using Jigen's voice, move his arms and legs, and took over Jigen's body for good. but Isshiki still physically exists within Jigen's body. Okay. And I guess he somehow kept Jigen alive this whole time through that. Kawaki responds, "What a bastard." Isshiki embedded a karma into Jigen's body afterward, in order to be reborn in his true form. And just then, speak of the devil, Jigen, Isshiki, whichever one he is right now, lets loose his karma, gets his Otsutsuki horn back. Now, like, we see the chakra emanating from him. He's at full power now. And Koji just stares at him. And Jigen lunges at Koji, disappears right from in front of Koji, and reappears behind him, and kicks him, sends Jigen flying through a couple of pillars, but Jigen catches himself, and Koji catches himself. I keep getting their names confused for some reason. Jigen, comes at him again, but Koji readies another jutsu, Doton, Dark Swamp, and he converts the ground into a swamp that swallows up Jigen. Or the Jigen's kind of like off balance by it. It kind of gets his leg, though, it looks like. As Jigen notes, "I've got you now, Isshiki." I don't get it. This is Naruto back in Konoha. If Jigen has a karma, why doesn't Isshiki just hurry up and revive? A natural question. Is because the most important factor in embedding a karma is selecting the right target, namely the vessel. Poor Jigen is the one who just happened to be nearby. Ishki's chakra was too massive for him. Jigen's body is inadequate to be Ishki's vessel. And Boruto, peeks up at the word vessel. All that Boruto's been hearing it over the past arcs. It wouldn't be able to bear his chakra if Isshiki were to reincarnate in Jigen's body. It'd probably die within a few days. Thus, Isshiki decided to pass on being reborn through Jigen, and began preparing a new vessel. Naruto has now put the pieces together. So this new vessel of Ishki's is Kawaki, isn't it? Back at the Kara base, Jigen is still stuck in the swamp. He's now up to his chest or so. A stupid trick. You think you can hold me with this? And he breaks out, throws his chakra rods at Koji, who jumps up to get onto one of the pillars. Oh no, not at all. He makes another hand sign. And we see that beneath the swamp, some kind of seal is on the ground, surrounding Jigen now. A ritual circle. Koji carved the marks using the Doton. Kuchiyose summoning. And he, summons summons some flames, it looks like. Seriously? Flames this late in the game? And Jigen goes to suck them up with the karma. But it doesn't work. What? I can't absorb them? Don't tell me these flames. This is no Katon. I summoned real fire from faraway flaming mountains. They're splendid natural flames, not chakra-derived. So you can't absorb them using karma. You! And now he's being caught up in the fire. We must not let him be reborn in Kawaki's body. Ishki's power is immense. If he were to return in full form, we won't be able to stop him. It'll be the end of this world. This is back with Amado, by the way, which does kind of set up the next drama with if Amado wants to kill Boruto and Kawaki. Though also, if Isshiki was able to be beat to death by Kaguya, and Naruto and Sasuke did beat Kaguya, even if it was only by sealing her in a new moon, shouldn't Isshiki, especially now that's been 20 years later, shouldn't Isshiki not be that big a deal if he's weaker than Kaguya? I don't know, maybe something weird happened with that fight. Anyway, so as long as there is karma, Otsutsuki will revive. They are beings who have managed to transcend death. But it's not like it's impossible. I'll teach all of you how to kill an Otsutsuki. Next chapter hits June 18th. And we end with an image of Jigen on fire. So yeah, I was expecting a Koji reveal as the subject of the true identity. But we did not get that. We instead got the true identity of the karma, which is honestly really exciting. So yeah, the karma is basically what we felt it was. It's a little bit more particular than that. We find out that it's data. I'm curious if it's literal data, or if data is just the metaphor that Amado is going for. And if not, can we use the karma to get some kind of virtual Momoshiki or virtual Isshiki as like a training regimen? I don't know. That could possibly work. Maybe. I'm not sure. Or it's just a metaphor that he's going for. I'm not sure. But yeah, on the fight, there's not really too much development. Everyone finds out about Isshiki, and Koji summons natural flames that can hopefully successfully burn Isshiki or Jigen to death. It's something that might just work. I originally would have said no. There's no way that Koji would beat Jigen here, which was kind of a weird juggling act the series had going before this chapter, because Koji couldn't kill off Isshiki this early, but he was about to be revealed as some kind of Jiraiya clone, which makes everything a little weird, because they're just gonna reveal this and then immediately kill off Koji. But if Jigen can die here, because the real Isshiki is going to be reborn in Kawaki eventually, then that opens up all kinds of possibilities. I don't know. There's a whole lot to say here. We do find out even more things. Find out specifically that Kaguya betrayed Isshiki. I'm not entirely sure why or how. And at times it doesn't quite seem to be that long ago. I'm not sure how Jigen stops aging. Because Jigen, in this flashback here, when Isshiki takes him over, is seemingly the same age as Jigen now, despite the fact that it should be centuries or millennia. If he's not body hopping, like I thought he's been doing, then I don't know. He has to have some way to, maybe because he's controlling the brain, he can somehow control aging or something. I don't really know. There are a lot of questions it raises, but they aren't really important questions. So it's mostly fine. But yeah, then we see, there's a bit of an implication that Amado is going to try to kill Boruto and Kawaki. I definitely think he's going to try that at some point. And then, yeah, he's going to teach them how to kill an Otsutsuki, which is kind of important to know. Just, given that we kind of killed Momoshiki, but, he's not really permadead. But yeah, we'll have to see about that next time, because I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm going to leave this video off here. If y'all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself, if you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!